Hello, hello, and this is Kimmi. Hey guys, Notary Life with Kimmi here. So listen, today I'm talking about how another notary messed up my document. Can you believe that? Another notary. So let's talk about it really quick. So what happened was I was hired to do an apostille for a client, and I went to her office to look at the document and get everything prepared so I can take it for the apostille process. So the envelope was actually sealed, and I said, and it said seal, do not open. And I said, oh my God, well, I got to look at it. So I went back and forth with myself. I said, do I open it or do I not open it? And I said, well, I got to open it before I drive all the way downtown Atlanta and find out what's in this document, right? So fortunately, I did open it up, look at it. It just has the signature of the person at the school, not notarized. So that's a no-go, right? So I'm like, okay, we got to get the document notarized. So we call over to the school, and the lady says, well, I thought I put the school seal on there. So that still wasn't enough. So in the meantime, I'm on the phone Googling everything, trying to find a notary near the school, which was a half hour away from me and the client. So I did find another notary that was willing to go and do it. We called back over to the school. The administrator at the school says, well, I'm not a notary, but we do have one on staff. I said, okay, great. So now my client doesn't have to hire someone to go to the school to get the document notarized and then send it to me. Great. So the person at the school notarizes the document, and then they send it back to the client via the child. And I called the client. I said, hey, can you open that document and let's confirm that it's done correctly. It's been completed correctly. So she opens the document. She sends me a copy of it. And guess what? It ain't right. It's not right. So there goes to show you there is such a thing called a work notary. So this notary at this particular place, this school, she actually filled out the signer's information and her information as the notary. So that should have been a red flag for her. It would be, you would think, but again, without proper training, which is what I'm always talking about, you have to be properly trained. She probably just start writing and filling in a document. That's probably what she always does, but it's incorrect. So me being the notary that I am, I tell the client, hey, unfortunately, this is not correct. We have to send it back again. The client was like, oh no, because she's already reached out to this person several times. And I'm sure the person at the school is irritated by now, but she was super cool, I must admit. So she reaches back out to her and let her know, hey, the notary did not complete the form correctly. So now they send it back again, and the client, the notary does complete the form correctly. Again, she was notarizing the signature of the person who prepared the document. So it should not be her name in both spaces. So there's a couple tips for you guys out there today. Always double check your work and even another notary's work. Don't assume, well, she's a notary, so she got it, it's okay. No, you have to double check. I double check everything with every client, every time. I don't care if it's a loan signing, I don't care if it's general notary work, power attorney, will, whatever. I always double check my work. I-9 even. I always double check my work. So in this particular case, it was a work notary without proper training, and she messed up my document. So that stalled the process. So now where I was supposed to take it downtown Atlanta today for the apostille process, walk in and walk out because our state is currently open, now we cannot. We lost another day. So now technically we're behind 2 days. So fortunately, this client has a little bit of time on their hand, so it's okay, but you always want to double check. And even a couple more tips for you here is when the client has a document, you can't just say, okay, I don't know what's in it, I'm just gonna go downtown or wherever your Secretary of State is, because you could be doing a wasted trip. You got to do your due diligence. You need to look at the document, make sure everything is correct, make sure the notary seal is correct, make sure the document is completed to the best of the person's ability. Again, we do not practice law. We don't tell them what to fill out, but we need to make sure everything is okay, because if not, the document will be rejected. Not only would the document have been rejected, but I would have wasted an hour driving there and back. And I have not charged the client anything extra because the first day I went, remember, I went to check out the document. It's incorrect. So I definitely wasn't driving down there the second day. She needed to send me a copy of it first, which she did. And then we realized it's incorrect. So you see this whole process, it takes a while sometimes to even get a apostille job or any job completed, because you have to make sure that everything is correct. If it's not, it will be rejected. So you costing your client time and money, you cost yourself time and money. Now the question is, should I have charged her an extra fee for all this? Because now I got to go back and pick up the document once it is actually completed correctly. I've decided not to. because I'm usually down in that area anyway. I think I give away the house too much around here. What y'all think? I'm just doing stuff for free. Don't charge for this. Don't charge for that. I think I give away a little bit too much, right? So, all that being the case, though, the document is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it up tomorrow, and we'll get that document authenticated so it can leave the country. And, you know, hopefully I'll have a client for life, because now the client knows, hey, all notaries are not created equal. They're just not. That's why I try to tell you guys, proper training. If you don't know how to stamp a paper, you have no business. You don't. Your business is going to crumble. So now my client knows, oh, Kimberly knows her stuff because she caught this error. Same thing for signing companies. If you catch errors and you know what you're supposed to be doing out there, that's how you become the go-to notary. People ask me all the time, how do I become the go-to notary? What does that mean? What does that look like? That means knowing your job. That means knowing how to stamp that paper. What is can't even get it out. What is an acknowledgement? What is a jurat? How do you administer an oath? Are you actually administering an oath? I cannot tell you the number of clients that I have had, and they're like, oh, I've never had a notary do that before. Perhaps their document did not need an oath administered. We'll say that, right? Because I know you guys are out there administering oaths, right? And if you're not, and you don't know how to, then you should be calling who? Notary Educators. Okay, so check us out at Notary Educators LLC, where we do offer training for real about helping you to grow your business, to be a great notary, which is where everything starts. You got to have a good foundation. I always use like a house. You know, you would not build your house on a weak foundation, knowingly. Example, in Florida, if that land is not right when they start, the house is going to crumble. The same thing with your notary business. If your notary business is not built on a good foundation, which is knowing how to stamp a paper, knowing what your notarial duties are, your business is going to crumble. I promise you. So you want to be the go-to notary. You want to be like me and others who have taken time and invested into themselves. Check out the training courses. And again, I just couldn't be more ecstatic the fact that I caught the error, and I felt so proud. I was like, yes, I know what I'm doing. And my client was like, oh, wow. Now, her initial reaction was like, no, really? But in the end, she was like, thank you so much. Because she about to pay me some good money to do that apostille. And if it ain't right, she didn't cost herself a lot of money. So imagine if a notary did not know what they were doing. They took the paper down there to the state. The lady's thinking, oh, I'm getting my document back tomorrow. And then the notary has to come back and say, oops, the other notary didn't do it correctly. And she might ask you, well, you didn't know that? You didn't know that it wasn't done correctly? So you see what I'm saying? So you got to know your business. You have to know your craft. So when I talk about knowing how to stamp a paper, I'm not just talk about the money, Kim. Those videos do very well. Talk about the money. When I talk about the money, it's like, woo. But when I talk about knowing how to have a good business, sometimes it doesn't go as well. So I just want you to know, you got to know all of it, okay? Well, until next time, guys, this is Notary Life with Kimmi.